I was shocked because when I came out, somebody had told me that story, and I felt like Rajesh Khanna Saab because my car was covered in lipstick. At one point of time in my career, people start calling me TV ka Amitabh Bachchan. Nobody called me Mihir, they would call me Arey Tulsi Cha Navara. You know, that's the reason why I'm not a superstar today is because of my own mistakes.
Ronit, I've known you since the days you were with Subhash Ghai. That's how long back we go.
हाँ, वो आपके जवानी के दिन और मेरे बचपन के दिन.
Something like that, yes.
So yeah, so Subhash ji, of course, he's been a blessing in my life. And I was kind of the giveaway. I was given away by my father to him, saying, please इसको लेके जाओ यहाँ से. उसको कुछ सिखाओ, कुछ बन जाएगा लाइफ में. Because I was in a small town called Ahmedabad in Gujarat. I used to have slightly not jet black hair, slightly not blonde, brown, but kind of not jet black. And I had long hair till my shoulders, and we used to be riding motorcycles and the girls and that kind of thing. So very popular among the girls. So
something that continues to this day.
Thank God for that. So the term that they used to use for people like boys like me was just to address you like, hey hero.
Oh, correct.
And you go to a shop and they would say, kya hero? So that constant hero, I was like, chalo hero bante hain yaar.
Yes.
So when I told my dad was like, you got to be kidding me. Padh likh lo. So I did my father said, so I did my engineering. Not that I was very honestly interested in becoming an engineer. It was never really my thing. तो फिर उनको I think समझ में आ गया था. Fathers understand, no?
Yeah. So, inclination of the children.
हाँ, yeah. So he kind of knew that this guy is not going to. ऐसा कि ले जाओ इसको ले जाओ.
अच्छा. So he told Subhash ji कि ये ले जाओ.
हाँ, काम पे लगाओ.
अच्छा.
And of course I came here and then I lived with Subhash ji for a long time.
Yes.
I lived by myself in because when I came here, nobody was here.
Right.
They were all out of town for almost a month or so. So those those small lodges near Bandra station, I lived in them. There's these very nice dhabas in and around Bandra station where I used to eat. National, exactly. yeah, national. So, and right opposite National used to be a boarding house. So I lived there, and then, of course, they came back. I moved in there, and for the longest time, I lived with him.
So you were a house guest with him?
I was a house guest all the way from 86 to around 3-4 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the time I knew you.
That's the time. You still know me? That's the time we got to know each other.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Yeah. That's right.
I think Subhash ji maybe told them or something. They used to make me work very hard.
Okay.
Like places like this where you're on the second floor, that Chitrakoot bungalow in Juhu, we're shooting on the second floor, and you tell me, "Ja, niche se jaake HMI le aa." So I'm like, okay. So I would take the HMI all the way up, and they said, "Kitna late karta hai? Nahi chahiye, ja niche rakh de wapas."
Okay.
So like that. So of course at that time I didn't understand. I would like, "Kyun bekar ki mehnat kara rahe ho?"
But were you always fit even at that time? You were in your 20s.
Yeah. I was. Of course, I choose to believe that right now I am my fittest ever in life.
Okay. At the age of 58?
At the age of 58.
Okay.
I give a lot of importance to my health, my body, my mind, my spirit. So fitness is not just about having dole shole.
Right.
It's about all-round fitness. And I need to be my fittest right now because my daughter is 18, my son is 16.
Okay.
They are embarking on their life, and it's my life is about them now.
Okay.
So, when you have to address the lives of teenagers,
right,
you can't be dull-minded, you can't be non-receptive, you
Right.
can't be non-reactive. You have to be all those things.
So we go back to Subhash ji and to Mansoor.
Ji.
You were assisting Mansoor and Sanjiv Sharma when they were making their commercials.
Yeah, so more assisting Sanjiv than Mansoor, because Mansoor was not so active
Okay.
in the company. Sanjiv used to direct the ads. So of course that, yeah, like I was saying, when I joined Mukta Arts, it was like I did the math and I said ये मैं तो अभी नंबर भी नहीं आया मेरा कि मुझे ये AD बोले, पर ये नंबर आएगा. It used to take about 1.5 years to make a film in that time,
Right.
and about 2 years for the film to release.
Yeah.
तो I said 6 assistant पहले से हैं, 2 years पर
Correct.
growth, मतलब 12 साल तो यही हो गए.
Correct. So what
12
are you
years
going
to
become
become,
in?
yeah, 12 years to become like a first or a chief.
Yeah.
And then you wait, and then you know, you write a script, and then, so it's a 15-16 year game.
Correct.
And I was in a hurry, I didn't have the time. So by that time that hero and that actor had gone onto the back burner. I had gotten very immersed, very invested in
Direction.
behind the camera. So that's when I said, ki boss, we need to learn quickly. So then Subhaji said, you know, why don't you do advertising films, because you know all these people, they make like 1 or 2 films a month. So you learn faster. So I said, great idea, and that's how I landed
That's
up
how it is.
there.
Okay.
Of
And
course,
did you
for
learn?
the yeah,
Acha, okay.
yeah, tremendous growth,
Acha.
and because of Sanjiv. Of course, the first 4-5 months were like बस लेके जाओ बैंडर स्टेशन, माय फेवरेट प्लेस. वहाँ कुरियर वाला होता था हमारा, वहाँ टेप्स कुरियर करके आओ, फिर वहाँ जाओ, वहाँ से फिल्म लेके आओ, फिर वो बस पकड़ो, लैब जाओ, लैब में वेट करो. वो अभी खैर unfortunately there's no film anymore, but it used to be a wonderful process, you know. Then get it printed and then bring the prints to the office,
Right.
take the prints to the editing room, and then sit there, wait there, watch the process, watch it unfold, and then finally, you know, go with Sanjiv and just sit quietly in the room in the corner while he was presenting to. We used to do a lot of work with Ogilvy and Mather. It used to be
Yeah,
Ogilvy,
yeah.
Benson and Mather at that time,
yeah.
OBM.
Yeah, OBM.
So yeah, that I loved that process.
And how did Jaan Tere Naam come? So
Huh.
that's when you jumped to become
So
an
okay,
actor.
I'm going to finish that link
Okay.
there,
Okay.
so that you have the complete story and it makes sense.
Okay.
So that hero kind of, you know, I mean, the way you are, you know, long hair, and you know, it
Right.
doesn't leave you. So even in the edit room, everybody says, "अरे hero आ गया, अरे hero आ गया, अरे hero आज क्या edit करना है," and so on and so forth. So Sanjiv actually, maybe it happened by chance. Maybe I like to believe that Sanjiv was instrumental in instigating my growth. Somehow somebody would leave. You know, the production guy would leave. Production guy left first. He said, अरे ये हो गया, क्या करें? कोई बात नहीं, रोनित है ना, रोनित कर लेगा. रोनित कर लेगा ना तू? हाँ सर, कर लूँगा. So he said, come on now, next film he's doing the entire production. So I got straight into production. Then our post-production guy left. And I was already used to the gamut of taking everything, the delivery boy, like you were saying. And I knew everybody. So he said, oh, now, damn, now we are in production, this guy is left. How are you going to do it? And who's going to post-produce this film? अरे रोनित है ना,
जो कर लेगा.
रोनित कर लेगा ना तू. बोला हाँ सर, मैं कर लूँगा. So, and then I remember still that time, this was, I mean, some maybe 30-35 years back, we had this small office in Chuim Village, just before Chuim Village, at the beginning of Chuim Village.
In Bandra.
In Bandra, in Khar actually. And Sanjiv was sitting on his desk and I was called inside. And I went in and he said, Ronit, are you ready? I said, ready for what, sir? He said, I want you to edit this film. So I was like, I said, okay, I'll do it. And he was like, don't worry, it's fairly simple. I'll explain to you what to do, and you go and edit the film and you post-produce it completely. But I wanted to edit it. I want to see how you edit it. So I did that and something worked. So I became an editor. Then I moved to... So while I was with Sanjiv, because of the hero factor, अरे हीरो बोले अरे हीरो एक ऐड है करेगा I said no ना of course करूँगा. I mean it's extra money, right? It's extra money and you're not auditioning or anything. You're just saying अच्छा इसका एक shot ले लो भेज दो और मैं जहाँ भी भेजना है leave it to them and it would get okay. And then I moved up in life. I met Kunal Kapoor, who offered me like this was 2 years after editing.
Kunal Kapoor is Shashi Kapoor's son.
Ji. I started editing for him as an independent editor.
Okay.
And then he would do the same thing. So, Ronit, would you like to do this commercial? I said, of course, sir. I would love to do the commercial.
Okay.
Then I remember I had shot for Sanjiv Sharma this commercial called a shampoo commercial called Sunny Arnika shampoo. And I was also the costume designer.
Oh.
I not only designed the girls, the leading ladies costume, I also went to Hale Road and got it stitched. So I contributed a lot to that ad.
Okay.
And Deepak Balraj saw that commercial, and I was editing at Mukta. I think it was Saudagar. I was doing some work on Saudagar.
Okay.
And Prashant Vinod, who were Deepak Balraj's editor, they said, "अरे हीरो, वो दीपक जी तुमको याद कर रहे थे, ढूंढ रहे थे तुमको। मतलब कि तुम लोगों की नौकरी गई क्या?" So that
you
was
thought as an editor,
हाँ. So I said, I'm editing. So I mean, he already has editors. Why is he calling me? So anyway, I called him, and हमारे landline का ज़माना था वो. I called him and he said, "कल सुबह आ जाओ." So I went and I saw him, and the room to his living room was the door to his living room was open, and he was sitting there. So I went and I said, "Good morning, sir." And he looked at me like, I said, "Yes." I said, "Sir, you called me?" And he thought and he said, "No. Who are you?" I said, "Sir, my name is Ronit Roy." And he was like, "Oh, wait. And he played that ad for me. So he said, "This is you?" So he said that because I was editing.
Right.
And editing का खाना उस टाइम पे होता था Manchurian rice and Manchurian whatever. This was standard. Or Manchurian noodles and Manchurian whatever. Hakka noodles, and so that was standard. So my hair was longer. And I was like, my tummy was... I had become an editor.
Okay.
So he said, "I'm doing a film and I want to cast you as the hero. And I give you 3 months. If you can come back to this...
looking like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll cast you." So 3 months I lived only on chicken soup.
Achha.
Yeah, I used to be non-veg at that time.
Okay.
So 3 months for breakfast, lunch and dinner. Only chicken soup. And then I used to run roughly around 15-16 kilometers a day. 7-8 kilometers in the morning and 7-8 kilometers in the evening.
Okay.
So, and I lost the weight, and then Jaan Tere Naam happened.
Jaan Tere Naam.
You were a fantastic dancer in that film. Jaan Tere Naam, I mean, we remember the dances you did. You were so fantastic.
People say that, but I did what they told me to do, but in retrospect, I think that if I had kind of like how our actors now, they learn from Sharma, and at that time we didn't have so much, but You know, if I had learnt some kind of dancing, no, in retrospect, I think that would have been better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Things you just did because they just came to you. It's
Life
not
has,
like you.
life has just happened to me,
Right.
and life has happened to me wonderfully.
That's right.
I think back now, all the mistakes I've made, I remember all my mistakes, and every day of my life, I wake up thanking God. I have done some very dangerous things in my life, and I have got away without a scratch.
You said you talked about a lot of mistakes that you made, some which were dangerous. Tell us one.
It's not something that I would like the people to know, because it's something that happened way back, you know, in my. Okay, let's just if you're insisting, let's just talk about my drinking.
Okay.
Okay. Now, same thing happened. What we are talking about.
Yeah.
I was shocked because when I came out, somebody had told me that story, and I felt like Rajesh Khanna Saab, because my car was covered in lipstick. And you know, things like that would happen to me every day after Jaan Tere Naam. And it was,
Wow.
that is the time when you need people who have been there
Ground
and who've
you.
done that to ground you. You know, people to talk sense into you. I have forever been a lone warrior,
Okay.
you know, and even when I've had people, they have been the other type,
Okay.
you know. So, you know, that's the reason why I'm not a superstar today is because of my own mistakes. Because when I should be what I am doing now, I should have been doing at that time when success came to me. And success is not what you have, but what you do with
it.
what you have.
Yeah.
So that was the time for me to kind of, you know, hone myself, work on myself. But I didn't.
So would you look back at that phase after Jaan Tere Naam when you had a very rough time for about 9 years almost?
Yeah.
Would you look back at that as a period which was frustrating because you made mistakes, but you learned from them ultimately?
Yeah. But I would not change it.
Because you learned from it ultimately.
Because again, I mean, that, who knows, if you know that period was not there, maybe I would not be here where I am today.
Yeah.
Maybe I would not be I would not have the family that I have today. So maybe I would have become very money minded and, you know, like that, and, you know, non-emotional and ruthless. Who knows? We don't know all that.
One doesn't.
But
So what were the mistakes you think you made at that time when your films were not doing well and those 9 years of frustration? 14
I like
films
the
that-
way you're insisting on the mistakes.
14 films that were unreleased. I mean, so many things went wrong.
So
One was the drinking, you said. One, you said you were
Yeah.
not able to handle your success.
correct. No, I didn't understand the success. I kind of said कि अच्छा अभी तो ए हीरो अभी लो मैं हीरो बन गया.
Okay.
I never thought it would end.
So soon.
Yeah, I thought it was perpetual कि अभी तो मैं बन गया हूँ तो अभी मैं चलता ही रहूँगा.
Right.
But that's not the case, because every step you take is a new step.
Yes.
And you have to be very careful before you take that step. So I mean, again, I'm saying that I'm blessed to be here, and, you know, a lot of things, life has happened to me. The good also has happened to me, the bad has also happened to me, and I have dealt with both of them very nicely in my life. But yeah, I mean, you know, when you should be so it's not just the drinking, no. So when you're drinking, you make a host of other mistakes. You know, okay, one mistake I've never made is that I've never been late for a shoot.
Okay.
I've always been on time. That's my trump card. I'm never late anywhere.
Okay.
But you have reached on time, but you don't have your faculties around you because you've been drinking till 4 hours before, and you haven't slept, and your eyes are bulging, and you're looking like, you know, God knows you're not supposed to look like that. There is a responsibility upon you.
That's right.
People love you. They come all the way to the theatre to see you. It's your responsibility to give back to them.
To look your best.
To look your best,
Yes.
to be your best,
Yes.
every day to be the better version of yourself.
Yes.
और यहाँ तो life is going by in a tizzy, and you're going through work half-hearted. Half the things you're processing, half the things you're not processing. You don't know what's going on, which is directionless.
Yeah.
You're
So
just there.
how did you survive those 9 years? Until Mr. Bajaj happened, of course. But how did you survive? Did
No.
your brother help you? Because he also actually had just come in.
Nobody helped me.
Okay.
Nobody helped me. Nobody came to me saying that, "Chal, ab bahut ho gaya. Sit. Let's figure this out." Nobody came to me saying that, "Arey, is there food to eat in your house? Do you have a house?" I didn't even have a house for the longest time. I was living in a car. Yeah, I had one Baksa, nice big suitcase, Samsonite, I remember, and it used to be in the boot of my car. All my clothes were in it because I had to leave the place where I was living. I didn't have money to pay rent. तो किधर जाएगा आदमी? I can't go back to somebody's house and say, "Arey, please let me stay here."
Correct. You couldn't have gone back to Subhash Ghai and said, Your house
it's
guest is
shameful,
back.
yeah. It's shameful. No, you can't.
Yeah.
And I'm not the person who will go to a friend's house and say, "Arey, मेरे को तेरे यहाँ रहना है." I have too much of honor and pride for that.
That's right.
Can't do that.
Self-respect.
I said, "Gaadi mein." So I, on and off all those hotels in Juhu, I used to use the public lavatories to brush and kind of freshen up before I went to the shoot. And we didn't have vanities at that time.
Yes.
So we used to shoot in like schools and stuff like that. Then they would have, public lavatories. They would organize them, balti, lao, pani lao, yaar, nahaye thoda, baal banaye. So it was tough. And then that's why I have a very good laugh when the media, I mean not anymore, but at that time they would very intelligently ask me, "So Ronit sir, tell us, what brought about this transition from film to television? It must have been very difficult for you to come down to television." Like, dude,
It was work.
completely, no, completely unemployed. I had nothing.
Correct,
So
correct,
television was actually a blessing, a boon
Yeah,
to me.
when it came
Somebody
to you,
who
yes.
has no work at all. Somebody who is starving.
Yeah.
So it was not even a choice. It's like, "Arey, thank you God for this."
Like a door open.
Nah.
Yeah. So when Ekta called you, were you surprised?
Ekta didn't call me.
Acha, Ekta.
Ekta, I didn't meet. I started working for Balaji in 2000, and we only heard of Ekta. She was Ekta Kapoor, right? I mean, she's still Ekta Kapoor.
Yeah.
So there was no meeting her. So you are hired by, I mean, of course she's okayed you, because without her okay, there's not even
Nothing,
a feather
yeah.
would move that
Right.
time. So you know that she's okayed you, but you can't meet her. So I think 2000 I started working erratically for Balaji. They were doing a show on Z where I was doing a character role. Then 2000, and it got canned. 2001 that show came back on Z.
Okay.
Then they called me back. Then we started shooting full-fledged for that. And in 2002, so that was after 1 year of working with Balaji. 2002 July, beginning of July, they said there's this role, Nivedita Basu. She said there's this role, Ekta's told you to do it. So it's just there. Ekta ne bola hai tumko karna hai, khatam tumhara. I said, yeah, of course. They said, but it's just like a 2-3 month role. But you have to do it. And you have to color your hair white. I said, I'll do anything. Just give me work and I'll do it. So
तब तक दिमाग ठिकाने पे आ गई थी.
हाँ, by that time I was like, that was what I did on television at that time. In those 10 years, I don't think any actor can do. Yeah, I mean, maybe there are a couple of actors.
You're
who would
talking
do
about
it.
doing that crazy double shifts which went on to 24
Yeah, I would go
shifts.
home.
Yeah.
So I started, let's say technically, in 2000, but non-technically main work started in 2001. 2002 Bajaj started, so I had 2 shows with Balaji then. In July, my entry was in July. On October, on the 11th, was my entry into Kyuki.
Okay.
From
On your
then
birthday?
on my birthday, from then on for the next 10 years, I have done 3 shows. I mean, if you look at my filmography,
Right.
I have done 3 shows every year for Balaji.
Right.
So it was the Z show and let's just say Kasauti and Kyuki were running parallelly.
Right. Right.
Then I did Kehna Hai Kuch Mujhko, Kasam Se, Qayamat, Bandili, and maybe 2-3 other shows which I don't remember.
Okay.
But every year she would give me another show, and I salute Ekta that I got into that zone saying ke do or die. And she would not even give me, forget about one day to sit at home, she would not give me 4 hours to go home.
Okay.
And I'm very happy for that.
Yeah.
You know, that just snaps you out and says, and then of course I used to be the guard, the gatekeeper who would be sent everywhere. Ki, look at that actor, he's fussing, go explain to him.
Okay.
So I would do all the rounds of Sankraman, talking to all the troublesome actors who were in the situation where I was.
Where you
When
were.
Jaan Tere Naam, कि, "Aye, I've arrived."
Acha,
So
okay.
yeah, समझाना पड़ता है कि भाई ये तो it's a fleeting thing,
Right.
and you are here today, but tomorrow you'll have to
Correct.
find yourself all over again. So don't do that, यार. शांति रखो, ये करके जाओ.
Acha, so you who had been in that phase for 9 years, you now became the advisor who could tell others.
So Jituji was there. Jituji would call me and say, "जरा बात करना उससे, पूछ क्या problem है, कि find out what it is and let's solve it."
Yeah.
And then most of it would get solved.
Okay.
There were 1 or 2 instances, of course, where they were like, "Nahi." And all those actors are, I don't know where they are today. We don't see them anymore. So just that
So
respect.
when once a Balaji happened to you,
Ji.
whether it was the Z show or K and K, did you completely change who you were as an
Absolutely.
actor? Your discipline, your sense of discipline,
Absolutely.
your drinking,
Absolutely.
except your punctuality, which was always there. But
So I'll tell you a story.
yes,
We were talking about meeting Ekta.
yes,
So in 2002 Diwali, we were invited to Ekta's party. Like, yes! We have got an invite to go to Ektaji's party. So, and I had met Neelam by that time.
okay. Oh, you had.
I met Neelam in 2000. So that's, see again, life, I said life happens to you. So Neelam coming into my life, Ekta coming into my life, Balaji telefilms, that discipline, that thing ke boss,
Samay.
Samay. It all coincided. And of course, even then, even in 2002, Bajaj had gone through the roof already.
yes,
I was
obviously, yes.
Mihir. Even then, our access to Ekta was very limited.
Limited.
So we couldn't like go and walk into a room or anything. But when I went to her house, I was asking Neelam. Neelam said, you know, Neelam is a very simple lady.
I know her.
So she was like, I know you know her. She's like, should we give her a cologne? I said, you can't give Ekta Kapoor a cologne. So should we give her Ganesh Ji? I said, you haven't seen the picture of her Ganesh Ji in her house. I said, you can't give her a bigger Ganesh Ji. So I met Ekta for 20 seconds on her Diwali party. And I told her, I don't know whether she'll remember or not, but I remember these words. I told her, I said, ma'am, the only gift that I can give you this Diwali is my dedication as an actor. I never ever said, I want to go home. Oh, I said, you tell me. I said, you guys manage. You guys tell me where to go. I have, like other actors, not just me, I have fainted on set. I have fainted 3 times in a span of 1 hour.
Okay.
Doctor has been called, Neelam has come and raved there. All has happened. But, so, not so much Kyuki, but Kasauti was being directed by a guy called Qaid. And he got it, he understood. So, So it used to be 12 hours, right? So 7 to 7 I would go for Kyunki, and 7 to 7 I would go for Kasauti. So this is technically no time to go home.
Yes.
At that point, you know, you are you have a job. B, you have suddenly become Bajaj
Correct.
in
yeah,
one
Bajaj.
shot.
Correct. Mr. Bajaj.
You have become Mr. Bajaj. You are suddenly bigger than you've ever been.
Correct. Correct.
Star TV is telling Balaji that sorry, you have to renegotiate this man's contract because we can't let him go now. This story has to go on.
Correct.
So Balaji is calling you and say, अच्छा अभी 2-3 महीने का नहीं 1 साल का करना पड़ेगा. So all that positivity is coming to you.
Right. Right.
And I was just happy the fact that I'm needed.
Correct.
You know, that they need me here to be here.
Such a high, no?
It's a high, it's an amazing feeling.
Yeah. And Mihir
To
Virani
be
also
needed
happened.
is a,
Absolutely.
yeah. And Mihir, I was
By
like,
the channel, by the producer, by
damn,
everybody.
nobody's working as me. I'm going to flop. People are going to one Bajaj hit and one Mihir, nothing. No, people are not going to accept me.
Because Mihir was already such a big thing.
Yeah. And suddenly Mihir also went through the roof.
That's
that,
right.
you know, the chemistry with Smriti,
Yes.
that worked. My chemistry with Shweta worked.
Shweta, yeah.
So yeah, just two words.
Your
Yeah,
chemistry
grateful
with
and
women
thankful.
works anyway, Ronit.
Okay, if you say so.
How is your equation with Smriti now?
Fantastic.
Do you meet? Are you in touch?
Yeah, of course I'm in touch. I meet not very often. Bumping into each other happens, but we do text each other, and I'm just amazed. Actually, I'm not amazed. I'm wrong choice of words. One knew that she would be. One didn't know that she would become a politician, but one knew that whatever she would do, she would like hit it really big because she always had that. You know, she's had it always.
And
So-
she would never be just an actor. She would grow beyond that.
Correct. So she decided to go into politics, but you know, at that time when you would look at her, you would feel like she would probably do other businesses and you know, kind of
She'll grow.
yeah, exponentially.
Yeah.
So, and you know, with her, it's just the day one, the way she spoke to me on day one when I met her.
By which time she was already known.
Yeah, she was Tulsi.
She was Tulsi. Yeah.
Yeah,
Tulsi
nobody called me
Virani,
Mihir,
yeah.
they would call me, Arey Tulsi cha Navra.
Just Tulsi.
Tulsi cha Navra.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, and her affection, her tone of voice towards me, the way she talks to me is still the same. There is
Acha.
no difference
Okay.
in that.
Oh, that's been fantastic.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And how's your equation with Ekta?
Ekta is my boss, yeah. Yeah, Ekta is my boss. It's not just me. Neelam also knows that it is something that you know, she calls me right now and says कि 5 दिन का काम कर. I've done it before in Ram Sakshi's serial, and then you know, of course, the staff, they're like, sir, the check. I said, what check? No check. She's given enough checks. No checks for this. Even if today she tells me that, you know, come, I want you to do this 3-day, 4-day job for me, and I will
You'll be there.
proudly, happily go. Yeah.
Okay. So that equation also doesn't change.
Yeah, see, so Jitu ji and me, we go back to 92.
Yeah.
You know, we did a film in the south where he was there, and you know, a lot of other, Danny Saab was there. We did that film, so I know him since then. The way he behaves with me, you know, it's very apparent that he loves me. The way Shobha Ma behaves with me. So, you know, and largely, okay, now films and all that is fine. It's a journey. But the people to bring me out of the gutter, so to say, is Balaji Televisions.
Yeah.
So that can never go away.
Do you remember when you made the transition from living in the car to a house again?
So in 97, 97, towards the end of 97, then of course I again, I found a house. I started living in it. I would lock myself inside because I didn't have rent. So, क्या करेंगे? So, luckily it was the first floor. So I used to climb out of the window and climb back in from the window because I knew those guys would come to us rent, and I genuinely didn't have money to pay rent. Okay. I had a car, but I had no money for fuel.
Okay.
So life was like that. So 97 then, when my first house, there was this, I don't know why, but the government came up with some scheme कि if you give this much money, we'll give you the house and then you can pay over so many years. And
that was at Mada Street?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So my first house was in Mada.
Okay.
I still have it.
Okay.
Yeah. So then I did something. I said, "Gadi बेच दो, camera बेच दो, सब कुछ बेच दो." And then I have this friend called Kuldeep Halwasia. He helped me with a little bit of money, which I have never repaid.
Okay.
Because it's a debt I cannot,
Yeah. You can't repay it with money.
Yeah, it's a very small amount. But it's not about the amount. It's not about the amount. I cannot return that gesture.
Yes.
Ever.
Right.
So never gave him that money back. I wanted to stay with me.
Okay.
So so then finally, of course, then I had a house, but no furniture.
Then you had a house and
no furniture. And then I said, "Arey, now to thoda bahut work is happening. Let's break down the walls." So I broke down the walls and all the rubble. So I told him, I said, "Yaar, ये सब कचरा तो हटाओ." बोला, "सर, ये कचरा हटाने का 2000 रुपये लगेगा." Like what? And nobody told me that. So the first time Neelam came to my house, she was like, "You live like this?" So I think she then decided कि इसको मैं ठीक कर दूँ.
So the rest of Neelam's life went in ठीक करोगे.
It is still going.
It's
still going. Still going. See, there is an amazing love between Neelam and me. But we are not cut from the same cloth.
Okay.
Yeah, we are two completely different people. And I seriously believe that every husband and wife fight. They have the disagreements. If you're not having disagreements and not fighting, that means something is wrong with your relationship. So yeah, we have our fights. And she's, she gets upset very quickly. So, but there is a lot of merit in what she says. And sometimes chahkar bhi, I can't kind of maintain that. There is a being in me who is a different kind of being. So, and especially now, when I focus on something, then it's like undeterrable. You can't. And when somebody tries, and when somebody, with the positive kind of tunnel vision. And when somebody tries to deter me, then I get irritated. It's like, that's why I stop going out only.
You want your routine, you want your
regimented life. Because, I'm an actor, fine. I have friends who I should meet. I tell all my friends, कि तुम लोग Sunday को brunch क्यों नहीं करते? I don't drink.
Yeah.
I don't eat meat.
So when did you give up drinking?
So I never say that I've given up, because that creates a pressure on you, no?
Yeah.
कि मैं नहीं पीता. There is that, those few times where, I'll sit with Neelam and have a glass of wine, we chat, whether at home or when we are traveling abroad, just, but jaldi karo. I ask her at 5:30 p.m. if we are in Amsterdam. I tell her, I said, "Chalo, let's go down to her." It's still bright outside, so I don't understand the connection. It's like, it's a glass of wine. You're not drinking to get drunk. Have a glass of wine, eat your food, and bro, by 9:30, let's go to bed, na? So that you're up at 5:30 the next day, 6. you're up and about. There's a purpose to that day, as opposed to drinking till 2 o'clock in the night and you're waking up at 12:30. Half your day is gone.
Correct. So when did you start going easy with liquor? Let me put it that way. Not that you gave it up, but
It's been a long time.
did it happen because of your because of that?
No, it
extreme
just happened.
Work effort.
Yeah.
Hectic
That
you
work,
did.
and then
Bajaj
because
and,
of that work, those few days in between, that those 2-3 days of Christmas holidays that we used to get New Year के time पे, जब कोई नहीं आता था काम पे. So that's why Ekta chose my marriage day at that time. Okay, you get married now because nobody will come to work anyway. So in these 3 days you get married, take your honeymoon, and come back on the second to shoot. I was like, okay, boss, done.
Okay.
So yeah, so that period would then, you suddenly felt like you've been released from prison,
Right.
and then you would go and hit the bottle, and then you come back to work saying, shit, what happened? So then I said, best to
Tone it down.
no, let it go only.
Okay.
Let it go. Also, very thankfully, alcohol, I got onto another high, which is called clarity,
Okay.
energy. So I like to wake up like that. I like to wake up like that every morning. Nobody wakes up in my house. Nobody wakes up that early. So I go, I make my own coffee, I sit with my coffee, I see my messages, I see my emails, I do my thinking. But alcohol makes you wake up like this. I don't like it anymore.
Okay.
I like to be up and about. And then another thing is that you have kids at home, you have a wife at home, and I have this phobia inside me. My daughter's studying in LA. I have this phobia that what if something happens in the night to anybody, to either in my family or my friends who are like my family, and I get a call and I'm not able to react because I'm under the influence of alcohol.
Oh.
I don't want that to happen.
Oh my God. Okay.
So I
इतना
want
thinking.
हाँ कि भगवान करे कुछ ना हो. But what if somebody reaches out to me for help and I'm like,
And you're not in a
and I'm not in a
condition.
state to help that person?
Right. Yeah.
That would be I will not be able to unlive
Face
that.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So that I will not be able to handle.
So actually, a lot of things just happened at the right time for you to come back on track. The work, Neelam coming in.
Like I said, life happened.
Right? Life just happened.
Life happened.
Yeah.
Life taught me.
Yeah. But that's fantastic.
अभी तो flop हो गया है क्योंकि तेरी बुरी आदतें.
Okay.
तो छोड़ दो.
Yeah. But like you said, you learned from it. So that was, the best thing was that you learned from
Correct.
it. That was the best part.
If you don't learn,
Yeah, then you're lost.
then you're
completely.
lost.
Yeah.
Then you're done.
Yes. True. And there are so many.
There are so many. I have videos of people
That's right. Yes.
who it's scary. It is scary to see them. I know them when they came into the industry, with so much promise. So much promise. Some of them have been called the next Amitabh Bachchan. That kind of promise. And for them to be in the state they are in currently, and nowadays it's not just about the alcohol, there's so many other substances.
Yes.
It's like, what are you doing? It's like, you want to kill yourself, yeah.
Absolutely.
And then what about your old age? I don't want to grow old. I mean, I want to grow, I want to age
Healthy
chronologically.
old. Yeah.
But look at you, you're 70.
Yes.
No,
Absolutely.
I like to run. Half the countries abroad I have seen running. And Neelam will be very surprised. Neelam would say, is there a bakery here? I want to buy some croissants. I would say, oh yeah, well, left from here, and then just as you take a right is the second store. And she would like, have you been here before? How do you know? And she never figured it out that I would go for a run in the morning. So I know all the cafes that open early. I know and I need my coffee at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
And everybody is sleeping in the room, so I can't do khatar patar. So in every city in Europe, I know all the cafes that open at 5 a.m.
Okay, alright. Tell me, what did Vikramaditya see in you to make you that horrible father that you were in Udaan? Because that was again a life-changing,
Yeah, so he
career
didn't,
changing.
I don't think he saw anything in me.
But how?
Because I was not casted in that role.
Acha.
No, I was not casted in that role.
Oh.
Yeah. There's a story behind it.
Uh-huh.
So I was casted in Ram Kapoor's role.
Ah.
Okay, now you're not going to ask me the name of the actors because they're both my friends. So and I really respect them as actors.
Okay.
So hence, without taking names,
Okay.
so the actor who played Bhairav Singh was in my mold.
Okay.
The actor who was supposed to play Ram Kapoor's role was in Ram Kapoor's mold.
Okay.
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 Now the actor who was supposed to play Ram Kapoor's role backed out.
Okay.
Okay, so they called me. They said, please come, it's a 4-5 day job. We know you're very busy on television. But Kashyap, he said, वो विक्रम है, वो बना रहा है पिक्चर तो सर कर लोगे? मैंने कर लूँगा यार, 4-5 दिन की बात है. So I said yes. And then the actor who was playing Bhairav Singh, he backed out.
Oh. Okay.
So I don't know what conversation Kashyap and Mutwane might have had.
We're talking about Anurag Kashyap.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Anurag and Vikram might have spoken about something. I'd just come home from a shoot at 4 a.m. and at around 7:30 a.m. Neelam is waking me up. Wake up. Anurag is sitting outside. I'm like, why is he sitting out? What is everything okay? I went and I said, क्या हुआ? चाय वाय पिएगा? नहीं, चाय वाय नहीं पीना मैं. अभी आप भैरव सिंह कर रहे हो. मैं जा रहा हूँ, अभी मेरी मीटिंग है यूटी के साथ. But you're doing Bhairav Singh. You're okay ना? Yeah, no, you're doing Bhairav Singh. And he left. So I don't know.
Okay.
I never asked. I never was told what transpired, why they. But then they moved me to Bhairav Singh.
Okay.
And they brought Ram to play. So it actually came back to how he must have envisioned it when he casted those two very fine actors.
Okay. So then Ram played Ram and you played...
I played Bhairav Singh. So you know when I tell you now that life has just happened to me. So,
Absolutely, yeah. But did you identify in any way at all with that father?
No.
With Bhairav Singh?
I have never raised my voice at my children. I told you my daughter is 18, son is 16.
Yeah.
I have never raised my voice at
And
them.
your father never raised his voice with you like that?
No, my father did.
Achha.
No, my father was a kadak.
Lekin itne nahi, na?
No, I used to be a very wild kid. Yeah.
Okay,
so
so
all
he
the
needed to
measures,
be,
disciplinary tactics have been used on me.
Achha, okay.
And still फिर भी कुछ नहीं हुआ.
Achha.
So anyway.
Achha, so
God
you're a
bless
very
his soul.
different father from what you played in Udaan.
I'm the exact opposite.
Achha.
I'm the exact opposite.
Okay.
I mean, I care what they become, but they have to become what they want to become. Last night I texted my son. I forget what I texted him. It was something like, a father must let go of his dreams for his baby to allow the baby to attain his own dreams.
So
We all
sweet.
want
So
for our children.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we shouldn't force them. We should allow them to blossom.
Have their own dreams.
Yeah. I fell into the gutter and learned. I don't want my son to fall in the gutter. If he can learn without falling in the gutter, some people learn, some people look at the gutter and say, oops, let's not fall into it.
Yeah.
So he's one of that. But once or twice,
Who doesn't make
if
mistakes?
he makes a mistake and learns from it, at least it's his reclaiming of his life.
He's very tall, isn't he?
He's 6'6".
Yeah, because
And no, he doesn't play basketball. He doesn't like it.
Because I've seen photographs of you and him.
Yeah.
And his name is Agastya.
Agastya.
And does he also want to become an actor?
Yeah, he wants to become an actor. He writes very well. I'm very surprised that he comes up with these ideas and it just happens with him. He comes up and I'm like, wow,
Thank you.
that's an amazing concept. In fact, there is one idea which is given me which I really, really like. I'm trying to build it with him.
Okay.
So, yeah, full filmy gida now.
Okay.
He's become 16 now.
Ah.
So now he'll do all that. And,
Okay.
all that.
Okay. And you're okay with it if he wants to be an actor?
Yeah, if you can be an actor, why not?
And your daughter?
My daughter is studying cinema.
Okay, so she also wants to come in here in one way or the other.
In one way or the other. But she's a little more, you know, she got into USC, one of the most difficult universities to get into. She got in there by herself, and you know, she's there and she's very, you know, focused. And my son is a mastikhor. But
बाप पे गया है?
बाप पे गया. तो जैसा बाप का हुआ ना, life happened for me. I think it'll happen for me.
It'll happen for him also.
Yeah.
So you realize that you and Amitabh Bachchan have the same birthday?
Of course
October
I do.
11.
Of course I do. Yes.
Yeah, and you have a son called Agastya. He has a grandson called Agastya.
Haan. I don't know how that happened. I don't know how that happened, but I think his grandson is younger than my son, if I'm not mistaken.
No, ulta. I think Agastya is older because now he's ready to debut.
Haan.
He's already debuting.
Haan, well, I'm just happy.
With the coincidence?
With the coincidence.
But are you, do you find any similarities between you and Amitabh Bachchan, given that you have the same birthday? Different years, but...
No, ma'am. I know him very closely. I wish there were similarities. I mean, he's Mr. Bachchan. And, you know, I hold him in reverence. And I don't know whether, I mean, at one point of time in my career, people start calling me TV ka Amitabh Bachchan. So that also happened. Maybe the media saw some similarities, or maybe they just kind of that level where I was at on TV, so they kind of, or maybe the roles that I was doing with my streaked white hair, grey hair, I don't know what it was, but yeah, there's a lot of, you know, same birthday, and but otherwise
you don't see any similarity.
No, I aspire to become like him.
Yeah.
But I mean, what he is a, you know,
rare.
It's very rare. Yes,
Very
absolutely,
rare.
absolutely.
How have you got this image of a Kadak, stern, unrelenting person? Because that's what you were in Udaan. And then Kabil mein to aap to villain hi ban gaye, along with your brother. I mean, you know, almost film after film. And then Anurag Kashyap puts you in all those dark films. You played Tejasvi. Tejasvi's husband
Ugly.
who was terrible.
Ugly.
Yeah, horrible man. I mean, whether you're in uniform or out of it, you're a horrible man.
So I think that's what they mean, no, when they say typecasting.
Okay.
That you become what you play on screen.
Acceptable
again and
in
again.
that kind
Not
of...
you don't become, your image. You start carrying that image of a very serious, you know, stern,
Kadak person. Unrelenting.
Unrelenting. But I'm anything but that.
Acha,
Bruce Lee had said that be like water, my friend. You know, become the pot, become the teacup. So I think actors also should be like water. I mean, you know, you're odorless. You can mix with any color. You can take any shape. So that fixatedness of नहीं मुझे ऐसा लगता है तो ऐसा ही होना चाहिए, that also stops your growth. Because if I'm not, let's say, listening to what you have to say, because I'm already fixated, I've made my decision, now I don't want to listen to you, I'm just giving you that little attention without giving you any attention, without listening
being
to
here
you,
actually.
without being here. So that I don't think is the mark of a, you know, human being who's going to grow.
Right. So as an actor, what is the growth you would like to see?
I want to win an Oscar. Yeah.
But you missed it because you didn't do Catherine Bigelow's film.
Yeah, but anyway, I wouldn't have won an Oscar for that role.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know whether I'll win one or not. But yeah, my goal is there.
Okay.
So they say aim for the moon, you'll end up in the stars somewhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, so there
Is there any other offer like 0 Dark 30 which you missed out on because of
Homeland.
your dates with? Oh, you missed out Homeland also?
yeah.
Okay.
So when Homeland was offered to me, I was shooting Adalat
Uh-huh.
for Abhimanyu Singh and on Sony. It was a bi-weekly,
Right.
Saturday, Sunday. So bi-weekly thriller.
Mm.
And I mean, I understand Homeland and all that, but K.D. Pathak is one of the most popular characters that
Yes.
I have done.
Right.
And people still love him.
Of
People
course.
still love that
Yeah,
character. It was my show, yeah.
Yeah.
I would not give up my show and show Thenga to Sony and to Quantilo Pictures and say, "अच्छा मैं जा रहा हूँ."
Huh. Kyun? Yeah.
If I was free, I would have gladly gone. And they wanted me for 5 months. 5 months means your show shuts down, no?
Absolutely.
And one show that is rolling, it's 150 people living on it. So you're shutting down 150 families.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't do that.
To do a Homeland.
To do a Homeland.
Yeah. Correct.
उसमें अपने को ऐसे अरबी वरबी बनाना है.
Yeah,
Not
correct,
even-
correct, yeah,
You know?
correct, yeah,
So
yeah.
no.
But that means that door is open. Like,
Of course,
like
yeah.
Bigelow's film and like
100%. I am confident of the fact that sooner or later it will happen.
you will get a Hollywood break
100%.
and you will be at the Oscars.
I don't know. I hope I am. But yeah, that's where I am heading.
Okay.
Now,
interesting.
how soon, where that happens, I am not very sure.
Okay.
Life is very
अभी
unpredictable.
कुछ है? It's something brewing?
अभी मैं अपने देश में तो काम कर लूँ पहले.
नहीं वो तो कर ही रहे हो
हाँ.
लेकिन कुछ brew
एक ही फिल्म फेयर जीता है यार 30 साल के करियर में.
Anything brewing from the West?
Yeah, so last year also there were a couple of things brewing. But then again, it's, you know, that thing ki they still look at Indian actors even after Priyanka and Deepika. They still look like at Indian actors like yeah, ठीक है यार.
हाँ, Asian.
हाँ, तो ऐसा नहीं.
Yeah.
और मैं वहाँ जाऊँगा नहीं. वहाँ नहीं जाऊँगा.
Correct.
तुम आओ मुझे यहाँ से लेके जाओ.
लेके
वो थोड़ा मैं
अकड़ है.
हाँ, I'm an Indian यार. अकड़ नहीं, but it's like
Yeah.
pride for my country यार. I will not come and you know
Absolutely.
भीख मांगो. So how Deepa Mehta, she called me. Now I knew how the West works, no? So when I did a film with her, it was a Canadian film, and she called me and I said, yeah ma'am. She said somebody will call you and will you take it forward? I said, yeah ma'am, whatever they, you know, whenever they call me, I'll figure out and I'll go and audition for the part. So she said, what audition? I said, I'm sure you need me to audition. She said, no. It's done. If you say, oh good to go, we are good to go with you. We don't want an audition. We've seen your work.
Okay.
So ऐसा होना चाहिए ना, तब तो मजा है.
बिल्कुल. That's
वहाँ जाके फिर
talking of being a proud Indian, you actually stand as a very, very correct symbol of an Indian because you are an ethnic Bengali
yeah.
and you were born in Maharashtra,
I was born in Maharashtra.
but you grew up in Gujarat
I grew up in Gujarat.
and you do Hindi films.
And I do Hindi films.
So
No,
that's
amazing.
does that
no?
make you
I never thought
complete-
about it that way.
Yeah, but that makes you complete Indian, isn't it?
I love my country.
You were born actually in the RSS ka hub.
I was born in Nagpur. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So more than my country, I love my countrymen.
Okay.
Because and this, you know, I have seen even the foreigners across all caste and creed.
Right.
I know of foreigners being married to some of my Indian friends, and they are so different. You know, there is an the initial thing कि अरे ये Indian के पता नहीं, and they fall in love. And they become like us, yeah.
Right.
They become like us. So there is a stark contrast between a normal foreigner and a foreigner who's married to an Indian.
Yeah.
You know, the emotions come into play. तो होना चाहिए ना ऐसा, otherwise आप वही cut to cut, oh you're 16, go away, find your own life.
ऐसे तो क्या?
हम लोग करते हैं ना, हम लोग तो, हमारा तो बेटा कभी बड़ा ही नहीं होता ना, बेटी कभी बड़ी नहीं होती.
That's true.
हम लोग तो we are forever fathers.
Forever, yeah.
So
absolutely.
even our relationships, you know, you meet an two Indian friends, 6-7 years they've not seen anywhere, and at whatever Liverpool station they meet each other, they start off from LLM.
Well, you and I haven't met you for years.
Yeah, so-
but that bond is always there.
Correct,
because I've known you
correct.
for so long.
Yeah,
Isn't
so
it?
our
Yeah.
hospitality, our warmth,
absolutely,
we are a breed of over emotional people, yes.
And we love it.
And we love it.
Yeah, we
होना
love
चाहिए
who
ना?
we are.
Yeah,
Yes,
we are humans.
absolutely.
Yeah, humans
Yeah.
are supposed to be emotional.
Absolutely.
We're not supposed to be cut and dried.
Coming to some of your co-stars, what was it like working with Rishi Kapoor in Student of the Year when he's hitting on you?
अरे Chintu ji, no, he is one of the few people. Chintu ji, that's Guddu ji, Rakesh Roshan. You know, it has never happened that I have called Chintu ji, and late in the night also. कि once I've called him, I have realized कि अरे कितने बजे मैंने उनको फोन किया, they has already picked up.
Okay.
Shooting in Chandigarh. So he'll pick up the phone and say मैं आधे घंटे बात करता हूँ.
Okay.
Or he'll pick up the phone, शॉट में हूँ, बाद में करता हूँ.
No.
And he'll call back.
But he'll call back. Oh.
And that love that I received from him, from Guddu ji, from Jitu ji, from Mr. Bachchan, it's just, and Chintu ji,
You have any incidents? in
yeah,
the Student of the Year?
so many incidents with him. So
Especially where he was hitting on you.
no, that is of course filming.
Oh, the film.
But okay, I'll tell you an incident from the same film. So he said, "क्या कर रहा है रात को?" He was a big bully, no? He
Yeah,
liked to
of
bully
course.
everybody.
Yeah.
So Mickey was with us, Mickey contractor, and Mickey and Chintu ji were very very close to each other. मतलब कुछ नहीं सर, मैं हम लोग हमारे पास है ही क्या करने को, कहाँ अच्छा मिकी को लेके अड्डे पे आ जाना शाम को, because he packed up at 4 o'clock.
अच्छा.
So he'd already packed up. He came all the way to me to ask, तू क्या कर रहा है रात को? He said, मिकी को लेके अड्डे पे आ जाना, पैक अप के बाद. I said, okay. Now adda means our lounge at the JW Marriott.
Okay.
So I go shower, change, and I get hold of Mickey. Mickey is fussing. I told her, I said, Chitu just called, we have to go. अरे क्या उसके यहाँ अभी पकाए? He's at his own little दोस्तों में झगड़ा is happening. Chintu ji is already sitting there in his pink shirt, glowing, brown. He's already sitting there.
Yeah.
And then he's reprimanding us for coming late. They said, क्या कर रहा है? मैंने वहाँ टेबल बुक किया है. He was very fond of feeding people.
Very fond. Yeah.
मैंने वहाँ टेबल बुक किया है. I said, चलो चिंटू जी, let's go. पहले मुझे खत्म करने दे. I said, okay, done.
Yeah.
So that restaurant was where it started with a wine shop, and then you had counters of seafood, vegetables, sauces, rice, noodles, and there's this girl in a small skirt following you with a trolley.
Okay.
You take whatever you eat, and then there's a live chef, and you give him the cart, you buy your own booze, you give him the cart, and he makes it for you. I am following Chintu ji, and I can't figure out what he's doing. And then we go and sit on the table, and in about 15 minutes the food comes, and it's in bulk.
Okay.
The food. Like, Chintu ji, how much you ordered? Who's going to eat so much? He said, कोई बात नहीं, जितना खा सकता है खा, खाना कभी कम नहीं पड़ना चाहिए.
अच्छा.
So he was so fond of,
Yeah.
taking care of people, feeding people, and then of course, if he lost it on somebody,
Oh.
my God,
Yes.
I've been privy to a fight between him and another very fine actor. My God, the unstoppable, that man. Not a true Pathan.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. You know, Hrithik Roshan during Kabul, he said that when his sons grow up, he'd like them to have the kind of bond that you and Rohit have.
Yes, he said that.
So,
He
do
said
you
that.
and Rohit really have such a great bond?
Rohit is like Chintu ji. He's a big bully.
Oh,
Yeah.
आपसे छोटा है
But
ना?
छोटा है ना. तो उल्टा होना चाहिए ना. I'm the
you
elder
should be
one.
the
I
bully.
should be bullying him.
Exactly.
But it's not like that. He's just a big bully.
Oh.
He likes getting his own way.
अच्छा.
But after our Baba went, he's been like a son to me.
Oh,
So it's, also then you know that he's just like that. His intentions are not bad. He's one gussel, one
okay.
person like that.
Okay.
So yeah, but I mean, I know for a fact, which I think he also knows, that if push comes to shove, whether the world stands by me or not, Rohit Roy will definitely be standing next to me.
Okay.
No matter what the circumstances.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
no matter what.
So you do kind of have that bond.
So that's the bond.
That's
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
It's yeah.
And it wasn't easy for him either after he did that big television debut of
Swabhiman.
Swabhiman.
Yeah.
So it wasn't very easy for him either to survive because he's been getting work off and on,
Yeah.
etc. So do you kind of help each other? Do you?
He'll never ask me for help.
He'll never ask you for that. Okay.
Never ask me for help.
Okay.
Nor will I.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, we are men, yeah. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll figure it out. His daughter is going to Brown. He's figured it out. No?
Acha. Okay. Acha.
And for us, it's about our children now.
Yeah, that's right.
है ना?
Yeah.
तो ऐसा कुछ है नहीं कि we don't ask each other, but whatever is ours only, no?
Yeah.
There's no third party.
That's, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and since the beginning it's been like that. With whatever was there, there was no question कि मैं ये ले जाऊँ, हाँ ले जा.
Yeah.
There's not even a
No,
second
that-
thought.
Yeah. Yeah. It's ours.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
done.
That's right. So do you speak those 5 languages which I mentioned? All these languages? Do you speak Bengali?
I speak Bengali,
Marathi,
Marathi I speak little bit.
Acha.
That is very weird because I have lived
Yeah.
most of my life in Maharashtra.
Yeah.
I was born in Maharashtra.
That's right.
But I think it's got to do with your schooling. If you're not schooled here and if you don't have local friends who speak to you in Marathi,
Yeah.
now over the years I've learned Marathi because my makeup man is a Maharashtrian.
Okay.
So I understand Marathi completely and I can speak a little bit.
You never done a Marathi film?
I've never done a Marathi film. Gujarati I speak fluently.
Okay.
Hindi of course.
Fluent Gujarati?
Yeah.
Acha.
Fluent Gujarati, fluent
So
Bengali.
Smriti and you could speak in fluent.
Smriti and we speak in Bengali. Actually.
Really?
Haan.
Yeah, she's the multilingual in any case.
She
yeah.
speaks in Bengali.
Okay.
So
Are you inclined towards politics at all, like she is?
I don't know. I don't understand politics.
Okay.
So I've been offered a ticket twice,
Bye.
and once by BJP and once by Congress.
Okay.
And one time it was opposite Smriti. मैं क्या कर रहे हो भैया प्लीज यार मुझे तो माफी करो यार. So yeah, I was like, no, I can't do.
How could you?
Yeah, all that I can't do. So I've never thought about it, but if I were to join politics, I would be a big misfit.
My last question is about your security agency. You're the only actor who really started a business of his own, even when he was doing well as an actor.
Oh, that's not true. I mean, I know a lot of other actors who have had businesses. Maybe in the same.
No, security.
Yeah, security.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm the first actor to do that. And but the only thing is that I was not doing well at that time.
Okay.
So the business actually came because of poverty, because of hunger, and because of having no capital at all to do anything else, even start a vada pav stall, because for vada pav stall also you need
Capital.
maida and aloo and tel and kadai and all that. So, and again, we are coming back to life happens. That time I have a friend called Vikas Sharma. He put me onto this, and so I said, okay. So he was the person who first person to make me aware of my brand equity. That even if you're down, you still carry a certain brand equity, and you must never let go of that. So thank you, Vikas. Then it's just coincided with this Israeli team that was here in Mumbai, and I don't even know how I met them, but I happened to meet them, and we met at my club, and I bought them everybody coffee and nashta and all that, and they, God knows what they wanted to discuss, but we ended up discussing ki why don't you come and train with us?
Okay.
And मेरे पास तो time था. I was not doing anything at that time. I said that would be very lovely, and then they trained me, and that's how I started.
You got into this
I got into
business
this business.
of also
Yes.
your own fitness regimen.
Yes,
isn't
yes,
it?
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So that's how your fitness regimen
Yeah.
started. Also.
No, I've
To
always,
a
I used to
certain
be an
extent.
athlete, in school, I used to play football. I was kind of a champ,
Okay.
athletic. So, ऐसा नहीं, I've always been fit.
But this,
Yeah, but with those
with that
with those
regimen that
periods
you-
of
yeah.
extreme unfitness,
Huh.
with like proper belly hanging
Right,
and all that.
Right,
Yeah,
right, yeah.
yeah.
So, but this must have really regimented your life, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Okay.
It does give you.
And so who are the clients you had? Because I remember two things very distinctly. I remember when Amir Khan's father passed away. I remember you were
I
there.
was there, yes.
And I remember you standing, you were by then very popular as an actor because Bajaj Uja sab ho gaya tha. And you were standing there yourself telling your people ki yahan khade ho jao, you will stand here, this will be the flow of people coming
So
in
I
and going.
told
They will
you, I
stand
told
here.
you
did that.
somewhere in this interview that when I do something, no, then I'm doing that thing. Then I'm completely immersed and invested in it.
Yes.
Then it doesn't matter who. Then I'm not carrying other ghosts with me.
Okay.
I'm just doing it. And then of course, I used to be with Amir, and I was on Lagan.
Yes.
And
And there was
then
a
there
death
is this-
threat or something at that
Huh?
time.
Sorry?
There was some death threat or something. He was going through some threat at that time, and you had
Yeah,
provided
yeah.
the security for him during Lagan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, and then we are friends also. And I know how fond that man is of me. So, then it's everything put together, and you're there. And,
When Karan Johar's father passed also, again I saw you there. Again you were there personally directing your personnel to the security
So
people.
Karan is very dear to me, but he will never be as dear to me as much as his father was.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
I remember those days when his sets used to get constructed at Film City. Used to, he was just such a lovely man. In your initial days, there are the few people who I received so much warmth from. One was Chintu ji, Ranbir Kapoor sahab, Yash ji. These were the people who made you feel, who welcomed you.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
Into their fold.
Into their fold.
Yeah.
And those as a young actor, when you don't know where you're going,
Right.
and these were the greats, and they talk to you like this. Those words never leave you.
Yeah. That's true.
Again, that's why Karan is also
Yeah.
special, because
Right.
he,
So at that time, you started off with Amir and all these people. Your security agency took off with
with
providing
Amir,
security.
primarily with Amir, yes,
Okay.
yes,
And then it went on to include other celebrities as well.
almost the entire industry.
Okay. Also IPL time, isn't it? You
Yes,
provided.
I did one season of IPL.
Okay. And during COVID, I believe you had went through a down.
Yeah, COVID, I went through a down, obviously, because all the businesses were shut
Everything
down.
had shut. Yeah.
And Neelam and me decided that, of course, we didn't know what was going to happen. The few months before that, I hadn't done much work. But I had done work earlier. So, but then we decided that I had about 130 people on my roster.
Okay.
And we figured out that it was not their fault. And they also had families, you know. Somebody's mother was sick and somebody's wife was pregnant and the delivery was going to happen. And we don't know what was going to happen. So we decided to pay everybody's salary. And because you know there's only that much salary
That's
you
right.
can pay,
Yeah.
so then you know I mean there was a lot of useless things lying around at home. There were cars which I was not using, and good luxury cars. You know, like I had a Mini Cooper which I would never drive because Neelam would never like to sit in it, so I would just stop driving that. It was just lying.
Yeah.
So we let that go. There were some other things, luxury items, which I said, "Bhi, kya karna hai iska?" You know, might as well keep those families going till the last possible.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it is something that I have not done anybody a favor. It was my responsibility. That when in times of crisis like that, if your employer doesn't take care of you, then who is going to take care of you? You're obviously going to fall back on your employer. So it was my, you know, ethical and moral duty. So we did it.
And where does it stand now, your agency?
It's doing well. It's doing well. The
Did you
business,
lose any clients at that time?
no, at that time, of course, business shut down.
One
Right?
learned, one heard that some of these people have dropped out.
Now those few people better
Let's not talk about them.
Yeah,
Who are the
it's,
people who stayed?
Everybody stayed. Everybody stayed. Special mentions to Akshay, to Karan, to Mr. Bachchan, that they not only stayed, they without services they paid.
Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful. Okay.
So a lot of relief came from them.
To take care of your 130.
I mean, let's just say out of 130 people, they took care of 30.
Ah, right.
So, or you know, or 25 or whatever.
Yeah.
But they
did.
that at that time is a relief. It's a big relief.
Okay. So the security agency continues.
It continues. Of course, the business is shit now.
Oh, it's not good.
Yeah, because now there's all and sundry. People don't realize that you know they hire anybody. It's not that. When they run into a problem, those
Then they
people are
come
not
back
even
to-
licensed.
Ah.
You know, they can't be on ground. You need licensing. You need certain diligence. You know, to be done. But you know, अच्छा इसको उसको जानता है, वो उसको जानता है, वो अच्छा किए ही है ना, कर लो. So unfortunately, it's a sad situation that security people are treated worse. The least important, but
Yeah.
they are
When
not.
they are so important to your life.
Yeah,
actually.
they are not.
Yeah,
So
to your safety. Yeah.
yeah. So I've just stopped working with people like that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So you know, it became, there was a time when at the advent of television, everybody is making a pilot. It's become like that.
Yeah.
Everybody has a
So everybody has a security.
security
team.
agency.
Yeah.
Because there used to be a lot of money in it, not anymore.
Okay.
But again, not 130, close to about 110 people.
Are still
So
with
it's
you.
110 families.
Who are still with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So on my roster, of course, there are more people who work with me, on and off. But these are on my roster.
Okay.
So
Wonderful.
I'm running 110 families,
Okay.
and I have no intention of shutting it down.
That's lovely. And how many films are we going to see you in before you go to the West?
Before, no, I'm not going to the West. The West is coming to me.
Coming to you. That's wonderful.
You know, I don't want to think of this because I don't want to worry about how many films and do the math. I am not a math person. I am a heart person. I am a soul person. So I just pray to God. Every morning I do this. I thank Him for first allowing me to open my eyes and still alive. So thank you. Grateful for everything that I received yesterday and the day before and the year before since my childhood. And then I surrender to Him before I get out of bed. I surrender to Him and I say, okay, take me on your journey today.
Lovely.
So that way, that whole thing of अरे क्या होगा, हो नहीं रहा है, मुझे बंसाली साहब के साथ काम करना है, but it's not happening.
Come on, that's
When I know for a fact that when Bhansali sir, has something like that,
he is good.
they are all intelligent people, no?
Yeah.
They'll say, "Acha, cast this guy."
Correct.
So, it may happen, it may not happen, but why worry about it?
Lovely. So on that note, thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Thank you for having me.
Pleasure.
I am sorry for so much badbad.
No, it was wonderful.
there's-
Wasn't it wonderful?
Very well.
Yeah, fabulous.
So much to say, it's just.
And we went down, covered so much ground together.
Ah.
Yeah, that was lovely.